reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Even empty backfield out of the gun. Setting in the pocket. Firing for the end zone. Williams, touchdown! What a throw and what a catch!
Stocks and bonds and Bible traders. So I do the deed, get up and leave a climberant, a sadist, yeah.
All right, Watchdog fans, welcome to Watchdogs.live, our first home game of the 2023 season. Beersford Watchdogs at Cortland Karn Stadium taking on the visiting Canton Seahawks 11A football matchup. Welcome to the broadcast. This is Jared Olson, joined by Jeff Boom. Jeff, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you so much, Jared. Excited to be here.
Yeah, it's a little warm outside, but it should prove to be a fun evening of football. I talked to both coaches pregame, and I think they're both ready for what could be, a lot of, I think, kind of downhill football, run offense, and it should be a good one.
Yeah, I think Beersford right now probably searching for a little bit of their identity, but looking at last week, it's kind of 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I mean, the linemen that we have, a little bit bigger, a little bit more of a mauling type of a line, and I think it's going to be a physical game tonight.
Yeah, that's something Coach Ebert talked about pregame, is just the number of kids that had in-game varsity experience last year versus this year. And that week one game is obviously not how the Watchdogs wanted to start Millbank, but really it was a good defensive struggle. It was 0-0 right up to halftime. Millbank puts through a field goal right before halftime. Watchdogs, again, play a really tough second half. Don't give up any scores till right at the end. Time's running out, and the Bulldogs put one more through and take a 9-0 victory over the Watchdogs in week one. Any takeaway, Jeff, on week one up in Millbank?
Well, like I said, I think, we don't look like we're going to be a team that's going to be a come-from-behind team. So I think we need to get a quick start tonight. Based off of what we've seen last week, we're going to be a little methodical on offense. I'm hoping tonight maybe we see a wrinkle or two that we didn't see last week. But when you're in a tight game like that and you feel like you can, flex your muscle, so to speak, you really don't want to take any chances. And I think that's kind of where we ended up, just playing a little more conservative, and maybe tonight we'll get a little more flashy. Defensively, I mean, we held up tough. That Millbank team is big. They're very physical, and we were up for the challenge for that. So ultimately, I think if we get to teams that don't have the kind of bulk, I mean, they had a 350-pound kid on the line, kind of immovable. So tonight, if we end up with a team that's not quite that big, I think I like our chances. I really do.
Jeff, let's go to Coach Ebert's pregame interview and see what Coach Ebert kind of thought about last week and his thoughts coming into this week. Watchdogs.live pregame show. Pleasure to be welcomed by two coaches from the Beersford Watchdogs, head coach Scott Ebert and assistant coach Owen Ronaldo. Gentlemen, thank you for taking a few minutes to visit with the fans of Watchdog.live tonight.
Thank you, Jared.
Glad to be here.
All right, coaches, maybe take us through week one. We traveled to Millbank, really close game in that first half, gave up a field goal right before halftime, and then late in the game, Millbank, punches in a touchdown, takes it to a 9-0 defeat for us. What are we kind of taking away from week one game at Millbank?
Well, I think we learned a little bit about our team, things that we see through the summer and fall camp, with who we're going against through practice, week in and week out. just trying to replicate as much as we can what it's going to feel like to go live. And we had a lot of new faces, and we knew that. So, it was a feel out for us. Film showed that we had a lot of positives, and film showed that we have a lot to work on yet. And the biggest thing that we can do from week 1 to week 2 is take the things that we know we got to get better at and focus on that and build upon that and try to put more plays together that are positive versus negative. And when we play good teams, which most teams on our schedule are good teams, and we compound those mistakes, at the end of that game, it's a big impact on us. So, but we certainly saw some good things. So, and I think we had some kids that they don't know what they don't know if they hadn't really played under Friday Night Lights before. So, and you kind of try to prep them of that and prepare them for that moment. There's a lot going on, and anybody that thinks it's easy to do, they kind of forgot what that was like to make their first start, and we had a lot of guys do that. So we got a game under our belts. We've had a good week of practice, and hopefully we can get out and execute and try to be as good as we can on every play.
Coach Ebert, you kind of hit on the schedule. Coach Ronaldo, you're the activities director for the Beersford School District. Within Class A, we play 9 regular season games, 5 away, 4 home, or the next year you get 4 away, 5 home. So this is our year with 5 home games. We're going to get a couple home games in a row here with Canton and Winter. We'll then travel to Flandreau, get the Orioles at home. We'll travel to Del Rapids, home with Sioux Falls Christian, away to Dakota Valley, and then wrap the season up at home versus Lakota Tech. We don't want to look too far down the line. Let's focus on the week at hand. So tonight we take on the Canton Seahawks. What can we expect to see out of the Seahawks this year?
Well, if you went back to the file of 1997 and 2007 and 2017, you're going to see a lot of the same types of things. So what Coach Lundstrom does there is stuff that they've been doing forever. They know their system well. They don't deviate or waver much from that. Tendencies that we had last year playing them in 2 games are very much the same. As we get one film just off of last week when they played Sioux Falls Christian, but everything pretty much holds true. They've got different personnel in certain spots, and they return certain kids just like we do. But they're predicated on a power running game. They're going to throw the ball as needed, but they would prefer to run. And if they're throwing the football, then we probably have done some things that we know we need to do to get them out of what they want to do, and their comfort zone is running. So if the ball's in the air a little bit, that's credit to what we're doing, in that particular part of the game, because they've got to go to the air to try to get some yards. So, but we got our hands full. Every team on our schedule is good, and this is the next one up. So we've got to be ready for a battle, because it will be that way. And us beating them twice last year, they're coming in here obviously with a little probably extra giddy up in their step to not let it happen, 3 times. So
I'll ask both of you to answer this question. Coach Ronaldo will let you get it first. Who within 11A, beyond the Watchdogs, who within 11A should fans really be watching for to maybe, you think has that shot to maybe do something special down at the Dakota Dome late in the season here?
I think you have to look at Del Rapids. As great as they played last year and as great as they looked in the Dome, they bring back a lot of their key pieces. I don't think there's going to be much drop-off there, and I assume their expectations for themselves are pretty high as well.
Coach Ebert, same question to you.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of Dell's out there, and I know anything can happen, and that's why you play the games and you get into the playoffs and do that, and it's a different season. But if they're healthy, that certainly becomes the team that I would say is the favorite. And I think West Central fits in that. I just haven't seen them yet, and I know they graduated some kids, but they had a lot of really good players off of that that runner-up team last year, and but I think certainly Dell's is the team out there with what they return.
As casual fans, we're as guilty of it on Watchdogs.live as we're bringing the broadcast to fans. We're watching the ball. We're watching where maybe some of the action is. Our eyes just get glued to it. Would like to take a minute maybe just to talk about maybe some offensive, defensive linemen. Coach Ronald, maybe you can kind of lead this off, and Coach Ebert kind of throw in a couple names. Who could the fans look to see from the Watchdogs on maybe some of those key offensive and defensive line positions this season?
We've really got a kind of a unique group this year, an interesting mix of size and speed. Before the ball snapped, if you just look across the offensive line, you'll see two really big, giant-looking kids. You'll see Andrew Niles and you'll see Joe Sharp. Both of those guys, great size, upperclassmen for us, just big kids. On the flip side of that, you'll kind of see some guard play from a couple guys like Jace Adams and Cohen Shirk, who do a great job of helping us out, pulling, all that kind of stuff that you'll see them coming down the line or maybe around the edge occasionally. And then we've also got some guys that are a nice little mix of a little bit of both, size and speed. Guys like Cooper Nelson, who's done a great job for us this year as well, just making sure to kind of round us out, make sure we're kind of a complete unit across the front. We always talk about offensive linemen as individuals. There's really not much there. You work together as a unit, as a group of five. So as a group of five, we want to be able to cover each other's weak spots, so to say, and I think our group does a good job of that.
Defensive lines, maybe hit on a few of those gentlemen as well.
A lot of our guys obviously have to go both ways. So what we get on our offensive line, we've got to flip and turn those guys, and we don't have the luxury like some of the other teams in our class have that can platoon a little bit more because of depth. And so we got a lot of guys that are playing both ways, but that isn't any different than it's been the last 8 seasons. So we can flip and turn and take Joe Sharp, take Jace Adams, take Cohen. Those guys are all guys that we're going to put hand on the ground. Utilize size, to occupy a gap integrity if that's what we're asking them. Or we can take Jace, we can take Cohen, and we can kind of use the speed effect and get some movement with slants and pinches and out calls, and all of that plays into an advantage on the defensive side when we don't know what the play is that's coming at us. Clues can tell us what might be coming, but just a little bit change up a pace with big versus quick. A lot of times those quick guys are going to have a slight advantage over some of the offensive linemen, especially when we're moving as the ball snaps. So, and then you take a Seth James who got a season under his belt last year and started for us at tight end and kind of a defensive end position. So he's back and occupying both of those roles. And then somebody like Cooper Nelson, who last year as a sophomore, he started for us on the offensive line, but we did not need him on defense. And I don't think, I'm probably saying this accurately, I don't think he took a single rep on D in any game we played last year. And now he's called upon to give us probably about every down we can get from him on defense, and he's playing opposite of Seth and occupying a position that Jackson Tadlock played for several years. So it's a learning group for some of these guys because they lack the reps that they just haven't had the game experience yet. But hopefully from week to week we can continue to work with them and get them in a position to be successful and help our defense slow teams down and ultimately get the ball back to our offense.
Yeah, some common names I think Watchdogs fans saw last year. Seth James came in with a couple big catches on the offensive side, get some key plays on the defensive side. I look back maybe that West Central playoff game at some point. Joseph Sharp had to enter the game and made a couple really big plays at some key points in that playoff game. Cohen Shirk, a name that fans are going to recognize on that offensive defensive line. And then, Cooper Nelson was a name that we threw out quite often just simply because at key games, we were really close games, they're onside kicking, and that guy just had mitts that just the ball stuck to his hand on that hands team. And we kind of referenced him working, in the gym on the offensive side with basketball, and how he kind of translated that soft hands. So a lot of names I think we're going to recognize there, but you're right, just kind of working into some of those new positions and maybe instead of fill-in roles, leadership roles. So, coaches, we really appreciate the time that you've made for the pregame show here on Watchdogs.live. Wish you guys the best of luck tonight against the Canton Seahawks. Go get them.
All right. Thank you, Jared.
Thank you.
All right, Jeff, what are your thoughts on the coach's comments on kind of where we've been last week, kind of what they're looking at, and maybe some of the players? You've been around long enough back in Beersford. You know some of the kids. They're your kids' age. What are your thoughts kind of from their comments?
Well, being an ex-offensive lineman myself, I kind of focused on that, and obviously there was some talk about the players that we have there. The fact of the matter is, we're just inexperienced, and so this is the time where some of that stuff's going to show up. We might see some of those penalties that you just don't want to see, but that's just part of the growing and learning process. And so there's a few guys out here that I'm hoping we can see some leadership start to really start to shine. Losing a ton of seniors last year, that always is difficult and complicated. Like who's going to step up. So I don't know who the vocal leader is in that locker room, but we'll see who kind of comes out and shines tonight. But hopefully they're identifying a little bit now with their identity on who's the vocal leader, who's really the person they can rely on, and we'll start to see some of those roles start to get filled here at this game today, hopefully.
Yeah, no, very good. Again, teams are warming up. We got about 14 minutes on the clock, Jeff. They'll be doing a little bit of introductions and some of that stuff that just is typical coin flip and all of that information. We do have a few minutes here. Let's slide in and in reference, we talked to Coach Rich Lundstrom prior to the game as well and got some of his comments. Let's go to Coach Rich Lundstrom's feedback and thoughts on kind of where the Canton Seahawks are at and what he's anticipating for tonight's game. Fans, welcome to Watchdogs.live pregame show. Real pleasure to be joined by the head coach of the Canton Seahawks, Rich Lundstrom. Coach Lundstrom, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Coach Lundstrom, been a pretty good run for you with Canton Athletics. How many years have you been going with the Seahawks?
I believe this is my 21st year.
Yeah, no, that's great. Long time, recognizable face within the Seahawks athletics. So good to have you on. Kind of maybe take the fans back through week one. Always nice to get a victory, but really special to get one kind of week one, especially at home with a 30-16 victory over the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. Maybe take us through a couple things from that game.
Yeah, it was a really good win. The boys played hard. I think our run game was going pretty well. Defensively, we did a good job of stopping their run game. So, all in all, we did what we set out to do.
Okay, great. This is the year 9-game schedule, so you go 4 home, 5 away, or flip the next year. This is 5 away games for you this year. You'll travel to Beersford, you'll travel to Dell Rapids, travel to Madison, and then kind of those 2 longer trips. You'll head across the state to Custer and then Chamberlain. Maybe just take us through a little bit of kind of the schedule you're looking at this year, home and away.
Yeah, like you said, we got good road trips. Our home games, we have Lennox, West Central, who else? Vermilion, and Christian. So after Beersford, we'll come back and be home against Lennox with their new offense. It's a tough schedule. Everybody in 11A has a tough schedule.
Yeah, no, that's just it. We'll kind of jump right into it. Maybe who's your prediction within 11A that people should really keep an eye on beyond the Canton Seahawks, of course? Who's the team the fans should kind of be keeping an eye on within 11A?
I think Dells is solid again. They were very good last year, and they're right back to where they were, where they left off.
Yeah, you'll come off of the Watchdogs game. You'll have the Black and Blue Bowl, long-time history between the Canton Seahawks and the Lennox Orioles, and then you will travel to the Dell Rapids Warriors and then West Central after that. So, yeah, good run here for you coming up. What are you kind of expecting this week from the Watchdogs? A lot of graduates after last year's game, that early season game. I think it was a 7-6 victory that tilted in the Watchdogs' favor. Met in the playoffs. What are you expecting from the Watchdogs after the graduates are gone? Looking at film for this year.
Just from what we've seen on film is that you guys like to run the ball, like the power. So we've been working on that. We realize that you guys have a bunch of new kids starting that are getting their feet under them, and we kind of are in the same boat defensively there. We have a lot of new starters, so it's going to be a good game. It's always a good game when we play each other.
Yeah, it's a good rivalry, nearby neighbors. Temperatures should be a little warm tomorrow, but I know the fans here locally are excited to get that first home game. Again, nearby rivalry. Coach, oftentimes as fans, we're got our eyes always kind of glued to the ball. Let's maybe take a minute to talk about maybe some of those offensive or defensive linemen that maybe just don't always get a lot of recognition. Who are a few people on each side of the ball that you can kind of point out that maybe fans should be keeping an eye out on the game broadcast tonight?
Our offensive line, we have Hunter Richmond is back at center for his second year. He's a junior. He started last year as a sophomore. And we have Chance Riley is another lineman that's in his second year starting. He's a junior as well. We have a bunch of juniors on the line, and that's good for next year. And hopefully they get their feet under them fast. And defensively, we only really have two defensive linemen. Hunter is one of them, and who is the other one? We walk up. Pierce Mastelier will be on the edge, and then Arthur Benoit on the other edge. They do a good job of setting the edge for us.
Yeah, no, great. Coach, we look forward to the game tonight. Canton Seahawks versus Beersford Watchdogs. Coach, best of luck tomorrow or tonight and through the rest of the season. And we really do appreciate you taking a few minutes on this pregame show with Watchdogs Live. Thanks so much.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, Jeff, a lot to unpack there from the coach's comments. Let's just focus on Canton Seahawks and Rich Lundstrom and what he was talking about. Let's just look at 11A. We went through their schedule. We asked all the coaches who's the team within 11A. It's pretty unanimous, quick answers out of all of them. Del Rapids Warriors are the team with the the mark on their back this year within 11A.
Well, and anytime you come off of a season, the team that won it, it's hard not to look that direction, unless you just see a massive class of seniors graduate. And if we really look at our roster compared to these other rosters, we're the smallest 11A school. You look at some of those rosters, they're big, they're deep, and so when you have a big, deep roster like that, you can even afford an injury or two to some key players, whether it's for a few weeks, maybe a season-ending injury. So when you look at the size of these schools and the amount of players they have, of course Del Rapids would end up being an odds-on favorite. Very deep, lots of speed, lots of good size, and then of course West Central proved it last year as well that they should be up there. The one school that I think that maybe be a dark horse is Dakota Valley. I think that last year, watching that game, I thought that they had a lot of talent. And they had some good speed, so they've got some senior leadership there. I wouldn't be surprised if Dakota Valley comes in and mixes it up a little bit this year.
All right, Jeff, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more of our pregame show right after this commercial break.
Whether you're pregnant or planning ahead, you and your baby deserve a healthy start. We offer a wide range of services such as advocacy, health screenings and education, care coordination and car seat safety, participant empowerment, referral services, and fatherhood support. To learn more about Great Plains Healthy Start, visit greatplainstravelhealth.org or call one of our 5 service areas today. Brought to you by Great Plains Healthy Start, so that the people may live.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
The foundation for how we do business is right in our initials, W-E. We. Everything we do is a partnership. We understand solving the many complex challenges growers face every day takes teamwork. And when we succeed, we do it together. That's the power of we.
Sheer Magnolia Salon and Beauty Bar offers you normal services but more. We offer haircuts for men, women, and children. Erin and Kayla are the two stylists. They don't have specific hours but will stay open late to accommodate families that are always on the go. Their services include full body waxing, mani-pedis, coloring, spray tanning, and more. They are your #1 choice for all things beauty. Located in Beersford, South Dakota. Call 605-763-2011 for your appointment. Sheer Magnolia.
Classics Lounge in downtown Beersford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beersford.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
The Bridges at Beresford is the best 9-hole course in the area. You know that. The Bridges at Beresford is home to much more, including, starting next Thursday, the Thursday night special returns for the colder season. Food specials from 5 to 9. There's also the Friday happy hour for appetizers and money off adult beverages. Need room for a holiday party? There's plenty at Bridges of Beresford. Call today or find out the full details at beresfordbridges.com.
Are you stuck in a job that gives you no family life? Work for Sioux Steel and enjoy a 4-day work week. Choose from first or second shift and receive a sign-on bonus. Sioux Steel builds farm bins and livestock solutions. Sioux Steel is hiring right now for machine operators and general laborers for both first and second shift. Sioux Steel makes it easy to apply. Go to their ProTech division in Lennox for walk-in interviews Monday through Thursday from 1 till 5, or apply online at siouxsteel.com. Join the Sioux Steel team and work a flexible, family-friendly 4-day work week.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life, with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Is full of demon stocks and bonds and Bible traders. So I do the deed, get up and leave a climb around.
All right, fans, welcome back to Watchdogs.live here at Beersford High School, Cortland Karn Stadium for this 11A football matchup between the visiting Canton Seahawks and the home Beersford Watchdogs. Jeff Boom joining us on the broadcast tonight. Jeff, it's a steamy one out here. I think we're probably mid to upper 80s as kickoff temperature. Really nice south breeze, kind of saving us a little bit. But field looks great. Custodians have done a great job this week getting everything ready for the home opener. Captains are out at center field flipping the coin. We've through these starting lineups. We'll rattle through those quick for the Seahawks. Arthur Benoit, Matt Anderson, Cannon McCracken, Tegan Granum, Kane Wallner, Braxton Mulder, Hunter Richmond, Chance Riley, Pierce Mastelier, Casey Sheridan, and Elijah Anderson. Coach Lundstrom referenced number of that offensive line is all juniors, and a group of them played last year, so they come back with experience. They're only juniors. He's already kind of hinted like, hey, looking forward to next year already with that group of offensive linemen.
Yeah, I think we're kind of in the same spot, quite frankly. We've got a lot of inexperience on the offensive line, and I think that this was a good matchup for us because we've got some underclassmen playing against underclassmen, and this will be a good test for them, and hopefully this carries on through the rest of the season for them.
All right, starting lineup for the Watchdogs, Jack Sten and Ryan Svegan, Malachi James, Robert Watkins, Gavel Valder, Landon Kroger, Andrew Niles, Cohen Shirk, Joseph Sharp, Cooper Nelson, and Seth James. A few names we recognize from last season, sprinkled in with a few fresh faces as well for the Watchdogs.
Yeah, if we're looking at the offensive line, we did get, Joe Sharp got in a little bit. Cooper Nelson, as was said on the interview earlier. So a little bit of game time experience, but otherwise it's a little fresh for some of these guys. So, we do have to be a little patient. But once again, we're facing a team that's got some of the same challenges with that inexperience. So tonight, a great time to capitalize on that, and nothing better than getting a little home cooking after taking an L up in Millbank, but get back here and get on your home field and take it to them.
All right, getting ready to kick off here. Officials for tonight, Derek Omi, Steve Creer, Tom Rees, Kerry Radiswitz, and Tom Lamberty. Back deep for the Watchdogs is number 5, Jack Stennon, and number 26, Gavel Valder. Couple good returns in Millbank last week. A point where I thought maybe Gavel was maybe going to possibly break one there.
Yeah, he got really close. He's got some experience with that role, so we can kind of expect some nice runs coming from Gavel.
Watchdogs do not field that kickoff cleanly, but it is grabbed by Stennon near about the 7-yard line. He brings it out to the 26. That's where the Watchdogs will take over first and down. First and 10, kicking for the Seahawks, that was Braxton Mulder. Watchdogs quickly into formation here. Watchdogs wearing purple on purple, white helmets. Canton Seahawks blue pants, white tops. Direct snap to Watkins, works left side. He is hit initially by the edge rusher. That was number 10 for the Seahawks, T. Granum, the junior.
Yeah, we missed. Looks like we maybe missed a backside block there. What we're doing here is similar to what we did last week, just flip-flopped it. We did an unbalanced line, so for you that not familiar with that, we're basically taking the tackle from one side, bringing him to the other. And it looks like we might be dabbling with a little bit of that again tonight. A little offensive line shift, trying to be a little deceptive for the defensive line front.
Okay, they swap kind of that strong side left, now to right side, direct snap. That one, did that go to Stennon?
Sure looks like
it was Stennon. Yep. Gain of about 6. We'll call it maybe even 7 on the play. Was a loss in that first play, so it's third and looks like about 7 here for the Watchdogs.
And this is a down and distance that we probably don't like that much. It's better than third and long, but this is one where, can you run it and get those 7 yards? Passing is not going to be our strength this year. We're going with we've lost a quarterback we've had the last 3 years, so we'll see what they come up with here.
Yeah, and we did reference warm out tonight. Is a decent or stiff south breeze. Watkins fumbles the ball, picked up by 10. We just referenced him, T. Granum. Ball just came loose right as Watkins was going down. Unfortunately, it came out of his hands. He was hit, and Granum picks it up, runs it in for a Canton Seahawk touchdown. 10:19 on the clock. So under 2 minutes, Canton Seahawks up 6-0 with the extra point attempt to be played here.
Yeah, and this might be a game where turnovers become super essential. They always are, but when you get into a game when you're very minded as far as the coaches, you got a lot of the same talent, you have the same philosophies, turnovers can be really crucial in this type of game, and obviously you want to come off with a fast start, and turning the ball over for 6 is not the way you want to start. But hey, we're going to get back on the field here, obviously with the offense, and we're going to give this thing another go.
Yeah, a little officials timeout here. One of the players needed to tie his shoe quick. Seahawks are going under center for a 2-point attempt here. Under center, that is their quarterback, number 14, Braxton Mulder.
I think we had a false start there.
Ball is blown dead. It is an initial indication, false start. Watchdogs obviously will take that penalty.
False start against Canton.
It looks like we're just going to stay out there as far as Canton with their offense. They're going to go for 2. Maybe not. They maybe not have a kicking game. We'll just assume that they're probably going to go for 2 all night, regardless of whether they get a penalty. So I would assume here we're probably going to dial up a pass.
Mulder, quick fade to the corner.
Oh,
their receiver is left wide open. I don't know if he slanted, kind of fake slanted inside, but that was Mulder connecting with the receiver on the left side, number 5, Matt Anderson, the senior, 6'6", 200 pounds, a big receiver out to that left side. Clearly, when you're 6'6" and athletic, that's going to be a target you're going to look at as the quarterback.
And that's not the best matchup we're going to have on the field tonight. Obviously we've got a cornerback out there, not a lot of experience with Fickbaum, and then also, he's a little vertically challenged when you're comparing him to a 6'6" wide receiver. So who isn't as a cornerback? And so when you've got someone that's 6'6", you might have to switch that up, see if we can put Malachi on him and try to match up a little differently.
Jeff, the Seahawks are right back out on the field. They're ready to kick this thing off. They've got a little momentum. They're excited. The Watchdogs are coming out. We will stay live with the action here as the Seahawks will kick off again to the Watchdogs. Again, kicking off is number 14, Braxton Mulder for the Seahawks. Back deep. We do have our backfield. It's Valder and Stennen.
To kick is Braxton Mulder.
So it'd be really good right here. Let's see if we can get one clean. Get upfield. Let's get a little better starting field position than we had.
Okay, squib kick. They're able to pick that one up.
Reverse.
Stennen reverses it to Valder. Got a few blocks. One of the tacklers did follow his lane and did stay open there. That was number 43 running his lane. He shedded a block and then made the tackle. That's number 43, Mason Bentz, sophomore, 5'10", 170 pounds for the Seahawks. Good starting position here for the Watchdogs. If they're around that, they're right on their own 29-yard line. Good offensive position.
And now it's just a matter of let's take care of the ball. Obviously we're going to probably be in a punting position on that anyway. We weren't going to reach the first down, and I don't think we would go for it down deep in our own territory. But now we've shown a little bit that we're going to switch the line up. So hopefully we got the defensive line on their heels a little bit, and we can pick up some positive yards.
Watkins getting the ball right back to the senior. Nice offensive play there for Watkins coming off of the tough fumble. Not what he wanted to do,
That's what I like
first in your game, and the coaches had trust in him to go right back to him.
Absolutely. That's a big component, and once you fumble the ball, coaches have 2 choices. Do you put a kid on the bench, or do you feed him the ball back, let him know they trust him? Watkins being a senior and a leader out there, that was a very nice call by the coaching staff.
All right, 7-yard gain for Watkins. Bring up second and 3 for the Watchdogs. Direct snap to Snennen. Movement went right. He went left. And the defensive front for the Seahawks was in there. A couple of big guys coming up. I see 62 and 75 coming out of that pile. 62 is Chance Riley, and Coach Lundstrom talked about him in the pregame. And also number 75, Casey Sheridan.
Yeah, if we just look across the line, we've got size, and then we've got, a lack of size in some other areas. And when you try to run right into the teeth of the defense, you got to probably stay behind those guys that are in that 250 and up range.
Watchdogs have one receiver split wide on the near side towards us. It's James. Little pass play. We had 2 receivers in the same area. The defender on James, number 14, Braxton Mulder, broke on that early and did kind of break it up. So Watchdogs are going to make some substitutions here. It's 4th and 3. We'll call it a long 3.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to go ahead and punt it away.
Yeah, we're going to get the punt squad here. Bringing in our punter is number 81, Levi Fitzgerald, the senior, 5'10", 130 pounds.
And last week, Levi struggled a little bit. Tonight we got some wind, so let's see if he can get his foot into one. He's going to be kicking directly into the wind. which no kicker ever wants. You'd obviously have it the other way. It would be ideal, but hey, it's football. The wind blows one direction, and when you got to punt it, you're going to have to keep it low. Hopefully you get a spiral on it and get a little carry on it.
All right. Legal procedure here. Motion against the Watchdogs. Take 5 yards off of there, so it's now 4th and 9. Again, punting formation. Fitzgerald, good snap, gets it off. Going to bounce just past midfield.
Nice bounce.
It is grabbed there by number 11, Kane Wallner. Very shifty on the right side. He picks up another 5, 10, 15 yards after maybe initial potential contact. So the Watchdog on pursuit was using the far sideline to his advantage, but it's just a little too much space for one man to make an open field tackle, even with the sideline there.
Well, and what happens here too is you're kicking into the wind, so you want to keep it low. And what generally happens here is when you kick it low, you outkick your coverage, and so you haven't allowed enough time for the rest of the players to get down the field to make the tackle. It's just kind of one of the disadvantages going into the wind.
All right, Seahawks, their first offensive possession here. They get the ball 1st and 10 from their own 41. Hook and ladder, famous Watchdog play from the 2022 season. Seahawks do convert that for, I think they're right at the first down sticks. I believe it is a first down. It's a gain of 11. They'll go to the 30-yard line. I didn't catch the receiver who was pitched to, but again, quarterback for the Seahawks is number 14, the senior, Braxton Mulder. Double wing formation. No motion, a little misdirection. That one is working. Inside handoff to number 7, Kanan McCracken.
Yep, and this is what Canton does. They're good at the counters. They're really good at misdirection. It's just kind of been this way for a long time. Like Lundstrom had said in the interview, they're going to run the ball, and this is a case where it's not always just slam it, down the middle and hope to get 3 or 4 yards. Every once in a while, they're going to try to do a counter where you get a little misdirection and try to pop one out on the outside, and that one was really effective.
All right, 3 receivers split out on the left side. Motion here back in from number 11. Quick pitch inside forward, so that will go as kind of like a forward pass. That did go to Kane Wallner, the junior running back, 6'3", 225 pounds. Gain of about short 2, long 3, long 2, short 3. Bring up 2nd, and we'll call it 7 for the Seahawks into Watchdog territory.
In a play like that, we just got to get a little penetration up in the middle. That would really blow that play up. The timing would be off, but we just weren't able to get through.
Seahawks back with the same formation. Watchdogs on the backfield looked a little out of place. They were kind of pointing and scrambling around. 3 missed tackles, and that pass to Kane Wallner from that was from about the 15-yard line, so that'll be a 15-yard pass connection from quarterback Braxton Miller to receiver Kane Wallner.
We struggled a little bit last week, too, on the drive that Millbank was able to score a touchdown. They kind of spread us out. They put receivers out on the outside. We didn't react or respond very well to that, whether it was run or pass, and that might have been something they picked up off tape, and they ran that play knowing that we struggled a little bit with that last week.
Okay, Seahawks back into their double wing formation, rolling out to the open side over there, and he does connect this time with number 4, Arthur Benoit. Senior, 5'11", 185 pounds, floating through the back corner of the end zone, and the quarterback, Braxton Mulder, found him. That's 2 touchdowns and 2 successful 2-point conversions. Seahawks currently lead 16-0. We are going to get a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more at Watchdogs.live.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, you can be confident you're getting the best. You can buy in store or order what you need online for curbside pickup or delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore Paint from Ace at participating stores.
Find Benjamin Moore Paint and other great products at your locally owned Olson's Ace Hardware in Beersford.
World is full of demon stocks and bonds and Bible traders. So I do the deed, get up and leave a climb
All right, fans, welcome back to Beersford High School, Cortland Carnes Stadium for this 11A matchup between the visiting Canton Seahawks and the home Beersford Watchdogs. That kickoff from Braxton Mulder does go over the Watchdogs' head through the back of the end zone. Watchdogs will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Those just tuning in, Jared Olson and Jeff Boom on the broadcast. Jeff, your first time on Watchdogs Out Live. How's it going so far here?
Well, it's great. I'm a little bit of also ran. My son was on live TV last year in the basketball season, so I'm just trying to keep up with him.
Yeah, those who have tuned in to our inaugural season of Watchdogs Live do remember Easton Boom on the broadcast started doing some production and camera operating work for us, and then he did break into saying, hey, I want to put that microphone on and I want to go on the broadcast. We had a lot of fun with him. He's on the sideline now. He's in Watchdog purple and white, so he wasn't able to help us out on Watchdogs Live. Jeff, others going to know you maybe from that kind of 80s era.
Yep, so Beersford native, grew up like 12 miles south of Beersford, and 1987, the last state football championship that Beersford brought home was my senior year. I was one of the captains on that, so Beersford football is very near and dear to me.
All right, and then we have a segment of listeners and followers. It amazes me when I run into people, whether it's down at the grocery store or wherever it may be. Hey, Jared, we really appreciated the broadcast. I'm amazed by people that I just don't really think, we're tuning into some of our games. But it is a wide age range. There's a group out here listening on Watchdogs Live tonight that's going to maybe recognize and identify you by your parents. So
sure. Yep, Alverna and Marcella. They're still alive, getting up there in age, but they moved off the acreage and they're living in town now. And so, yep, if you're familiar with some home health care out there in the Elsister Beersford area, Marcella Boom would probably ring a bell.
All right, Jeff. Moved away for a little while, moved back in the last couple of years. Good to have you back in Beersford, and really appreciate you being willing to jump in on our home broadcast. You're going to be here, I think, 4 of the 5 games for sure.
Actually,
it kind of sounds like.
Yeah, it looks like that changed. I think I'm going to be here for all 5 broadcasts.
Okay, all right. So plans have changed at one of those potential games. And,
there we go.
Jeff Boom does plan to be on the broadcast, Watchdogs.live all season long. So we appreciate your knowledge of football and what you're going to bring to the broadcast here. All right, Jeff, kind of what happened here. We're getting everybody up to date with who you were. We had a couple of really good plays there, like moving the sticks.
Yeah, I think we're coming in with a little more urgency. Last week there was some times where it looked like they were a little going through the motions or maybe asleep at the wheel. And obviously with this start, there's no reason to panic yet. We're down 2 touchdowns, but hey, there's still a lot of time. If we get a nice drive here and maybe put some points on the board, we're right back in this thing.
That snap goes to Stennon. He cuts it up, finds a few blocks. He is tackled by number 75. Casey Sheridan, the senior lineman, but not before he can pick up he went for about 4 yards there.
Yeah. And this is really what we are. This is the offense that we are. We're going to be someone that it's a little bit. This is going to be a game. It's going to be a little bit of what they call a slobber knocker, where we just have guys just go helmet to helmet and just battle it out in the trenches there. And so whoever's got their will they want to impose on the other team is probably the team that's going to come away with a W tonight.
All right, this one goes to Stennon, straight up the middle. Coming back out of a safety position there, that was number 5, Matt Anderson, coming up to make the tackle, but not before Stennon can take it for a Watchdog first down.
This is what we're looking for. Let's just control the clock. Obviously, they were able to score pretty easy. Hopefully we can change that. But the longer that we can keep our offense on the field in this type of game, I think we're in a better position.
Yeah, those tuning in maybe just a little late. Seahawks pick up a fumble, run it back for a touchdown. They quickly find 5, 7, 10, 15-yard chunks and score on their first actual offensive possession. Now the Watchdogs look like they're maybe settling in here. We're going to try to break through to the other south half of the field. Little misdirection. That one is reverse around the outside. Malachi James. A lot of running east to west. no gain on the play.
Yeah, we sure didn't fool anybody on that one. You'd think that we would. We haven't really showed that look, and I don't recall of us really running a reverse last week. So I got to credit there, the defensive end and the backside linebacker. They stayed at home, meaning that they didn't pursue. They stayed at home, and as Malachi came around the end, they were there waiting for him. And it doesn't matter how fast you are. If you got 3 guys out there kind of waiting, you're just going to have to just basically just take the loss or just go with a no gain.
2nd and 10 for the Watchdogs. Coach Lundstrom did reference his defensive side. You know, he did lose some starters on that side, and that was an area that he was maybe a little unsure about. That pass intended for Valder does go through his fingertips. It is picked off by number 14, Braxton Mulder, and he runs it all the way back to the Watchdog 15-yard line before he is tackled by the lineman, number 75, Cooper Nelson. Devastating play there for the Watchdogs.
Yeah, I'm going to guess Lickness would like to have that one back. You know, we were getting some chunks of yardage. You know, you get stopped one play. Sometimes you just have to keep coming back with what's working. And you know, it's just tempting for a coach to say, hey, I think we got an opportunity here to pass. It's just not our identity. And right there, it just showed, you know, a tip pass turns into an interception, and now they're in great scoring position again.
You know, I think it's interesting you kind of reference the identity. And, you know, I guess if you were to ask somebody, you know, who's the quarterback for the Watchdogs, I think on paper and potentially by position and maybe down in distance, it's number 9, Ryan Svegan, the senior, 6'1", 180 pounds. But again, in that play, it was a direct snap to Stenin. Kind of looked like a run with an option to pass, and he took the pass option, just went through the fingertips of Alder and right into the hands of the defender.
Yeah, if you look back the last several years, we had Tate Von Otterloo, and he was the quarterback, and we really didn't have the bench after he left to really fill that void. So we're kind of doing it a little bit by committee. And unfortunately, it kind of shows in our passing game. We just don't have that guy that really commands the ball in the passing game.
Seahawks on that play went with kind of a little bunch formation right off their right end, added an extra blocker out there. Little quick pitch out to the right side. I believe it was number 11, Kane Wallner. Takes that in from the 15, I believe it was, ish line. So it's another touchdown for the Seahawks. They're currently up 22-0. With the extra point attempt coming here, and they've gone for 2 on every attempt they've had, so I'm assuming that's what's coming here as well.
Yeah, I'm really shocked. This really looked like a matchup that was going to be a tightly competitive game, and right now it's just not shaping out to be one. So
Seahawks going to a little different formation there. They had 3 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left, empty backfield. The snap was fumbled just a little bit. He picked it up, and not before Cooper Nelson and some others could put an end to that 2-point conversion attempt. So with that one not converting at the 2:13 mark in this opening quarter, the Canton Seahawks lead the Beersford Watchdogs 22-0. Quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more action.
Fiesta Foods in Beersford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store right in the hometown of Beersford.
All right, fans, welcome back. Watchdogs live here at Beersford High School, Cortland Carnes Stadium. 11A matchup. Seahawks out early, 22-0 over the home Beersford Watchdogs.
Yeah, you know, a little while ago I said it's not time to panic, and I'm not saying you hit the panic button quite yet. We all know that comebacks are possible. We're really not built for that, but you know, right now a big return. We just need a little momentum because you just never know. We get the ball in their hands. There's always turnovers, opportunities that can come up and get us right back into this thing.
Watchdogs again struggling with the kickoff. That's about the 3rd or 4th kickoff that they've struggled to pick up, but Stenin doing what he does.
There we go.
Still working that near sideline before he's run out of bounds, so Stennon turns nothing into something. We saw it with Valder and Stennon both last week in Millbank. Didn't look like there was something there. They find a little crease, and again, that one was a couple great blocks, but it's really all Jack Stennon creating something out of nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Sometimes a fumbled ball or something that wasn't handled very well kind of gets the guys running down the field in tunnel vision. Start to focus in on that one player, and all of a sudden there's an alley, and Jack found it, and he took advantage of it. So hopefully this was a shot in the arm that we needed.
Okay, Watchdogs south of midfield for the first time this evening. 1st and 10 from the Canton Seahawk 45-yard line. Under center there was Fagan. Hand off to number 24, Robert Watkins. 5-yard gain on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Dogs. Looks like coming out of the bottom of that pile is number 75, Casey Sheridan.
Sound like we have a birthday boy out there today.
Yeah, I did catch wind of that. Somebody did ask. We will honor that one. Matt Anderson, number 5 for the Seahawks. It is a birthday day for him today, so shout out to number 5, Matt Anderson, the senior. September 1st birthday.
Short gain there by Stennon.
And this is where I think we have to, once again, we're in this position. We don't love third downs, that don't really put us in a 3rd and 2, a 3rd and 3, where we really have an option to run or pass. Maybe we choose to run here, but we're kind of getting to the point where we're going to have to take some chances to try to get ourselves back into this. So I'm kind of curious to see if we run a little bit of a wrinkle here.
Yeah, Svegan back under center again. 1st down, we gain 5 yards. 2nd down, a yard. Fakes. He looks, finds no receiver. That is another interception. This time, same one. It's number 14. Braxton Mulder with another interception. Brings it out to midfield. Seahawks will take over 1st and 10 after the 3rd Watchdog turnover, I believe, on the night. Just kind of going from memory here. We're not even through the 1st quarter.
Yeah, I think we're going to throw the ball. It's going to have to be something probably more of a rollout. Maybe isolate one player with one defensive player to kind of keep the ball out of harm's way. So we'll see if we make some adjustments there in the passing game. And quite frankly, like I said, running the ball is our identity. Coming from behind isn't always the best remedy running the ball. So we're going to have to get creative and start to figure out how to get that ball in the air and get it in our hands versus a white jersey.
The Seahawks did break the huddle with too many players, so that is the penalty there in the Seahawks. They'll step that back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15 for the Seahawks. Coming in for the Watchdogs, running in from the sideline, that's number 55, Martell Bergler.
And right here, we need a big stop. We really can't afford to allow this team to just kind of walk down the field there and score again. It's really, if they do, it could start to slam the door shut on us, even though we're in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, 29 seconds left in this opening quarter. They're going to hand it off and go right up the middle. That is number 7 for the Seahawks. Kanan McCracken, the senior, 6 foot, 240 pounds. That is a lot of young man coming at you straight down the hill.
It sure is. And this is once again, this is a running style offense. They're not great at passing, and so, as Coach has mentioned in that interview, if we can get them to throw the ball, it tells us we're doing something right. So once again, it's not totally time to hit the panic button, but we might have to take some chances, maybe blitz somebody and give them a little different look.
Jeff, that is the end of the 1st quarter. They will flip the field, so the ball will not move very far. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back for the 2nd quarter.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs, there's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
And bonds and Bible traders. So I do the deed, get up and leave a climb around a sadist.
All right, Jeff, welcome back to the second quarter here. Seahawks with the ball, midfield, 2nd and 10. Started off that drive with a penalty, a lot of misdirection into the backfield, created a lot of pressure there. Was the blitzing Robert Watkins. Pancake kind of from the back by number 62, Chance Riley.
And that's, there's a good example of let's take some chances here. Let's try to get some penetration. Our defensive line hasn't been able to do that consistently this game and allowed them to do some things in the backfield with some timing that right now it's time to just to send some people that maybe are going to go unblocked, see if we can disrupt a play, see if we can cause a turnover, see if we can get a quick 6 back on them, turn the momentum back in our favor.
All right, Seahawks spread it out. 4 receivers on the near side to the right of the offense. 1 receiver split out wide on the left side. Looking left the whole way, one-on-one.
Oh, my.
That is the birthday boy, number 5.
Pass complete to Matt Anderson.
Matt Anderson. He was working against the quarterback over on that side is number 7, Jax Fickbaum.
What a perfect ball. I mean, if you're, you got to give the quarterback tons of credit on that. That was just really well executed pass play. A little bit of a behind the shoulder there by Braxton Mulder. Very pretty ball. Put it up there where his receiver could get it, and he made a nice catch and actually recovered. Almost took it to the house after the catch too.
Yeah, that was the design of the play. The quarterback, just from the snap, immediately turned his hips, turned his shoulders. He was looking left. Knew they were going to get one-on-one on that left side, and they were looking for Matt Anderson.
For a short gain, brings up 2nd.
On the far side, that's a gain of about 2, maybe a short 2, long 1 for the Seahawks. Back into Watchdog territory. They are on the Watchdog 14.5-yard line. Mulder under center. Going to get a little counter back inside. Got a couple blockers, but it is met by a Watchdog out there. I believe that is number 24, Robert Watkins from his linebacker position. Came up and filled the open gap there to make the tackle.
Yeah, they seem to be having some success with this counter, and right now it's a little bit between handing it off to number 27 going to the right and 11 going to the left. So maybe we start to pick up some tendencies here and gives us a little insight to what they're going to run, and that's maybe a chance for it to capitalize. But you got to hand it to Canton. I mean, they are executing at so many levels right now, and here might be another one. What an incredible catch.
Yeah, that was unbelievable over the shoulder. That went to number 81, the receiver on the left side, Braden Qualseth. He's a senior, 6'2", 180 pounds. That time they had 3 receivers on the right side, 1 on the left. Again, still looking for that one-on-one matchup. Quarterback was in the shotgun formation, looking left the entire way, threw it right over the shoulder. Incredible play by Braden Qualseth to kind of turn it off the shoulder, pick that one up, and take it in for the touchdown.
And what do you do on that? The ball was right where it needed to be. I mean, the defender was right there.
Defender was right there.
Sometimes you just can't stop it when it's executed almost to perfection, and that one was.
Same formation, 3 right, 1 left. Now they're going to look right this time. Pressure is brought on by number 65 for the Watchdogs. Cohen Shirk, the junior, wraps him up and puts an end to that 2-point conversion attempt, but it's Canton Seahawks 28, Beersford Watchdogs 0, 9:14 to go in the second quarter.
Customer service is more than just a word. It's what Jensen Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance does every day.
We have more companies than most agencies in town. We're able to find a competitive market for each family. We're able to farm that out quote it with each of our carriers, including auto owners insurance, of course, and see where it best fits.
In Sioux Falls, Beersford, and Elk Point, go to jensenagencyonline.com to find out more. Jensen Insurance Agency, building relationships since 1944.
Are you looking for a professional house painter in the surrounding area? Big or small, new or old? Albers Painting specializes in restoring the true beauty of your home or business. Albers Painting is your professional commercial painter in Lenox in southeastern South Dakota. They are locally owned and operated, focusing on providing quality painting and top-notch customer service. For your next project, contact Albers Painting for a free estimate for your home or business.
World is full of demon stocks and bonds and Bible traders. So I do the deed, get up and leave a climb around a city.
All right, fans, welcome back. Watchdogs Live. Jared Olson and Jeff Boom here on the call. Seahawks out to a commanding lead, 28-0 over the home Beersford Watchdogs. 9:14 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, the Braxton Mulder, the senior quarterback, 6'2", 180-pounder, he's having a whale of a game tonight, but defensively and offensively, some really nice throws in that last drive. It's impressive. I mean, sometimes it's no matter what you do, you can't stop it. And right now, he's got the hot hand, so it's a little dangerous when you're up by a lot of points and you're still throwing the ball. You got to make something big happen, or it can get out of hand, which it is right now. But somewhere along the line, we got to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, Canton is throwing a ton of different formations at us. They're in tight, misdirection. They're splitting 4 receivers out one side, 1 the other. They're putting 3 wide receivers out, 1 on the other side. They're throwing left, they're throwing right. Watchdogs are going to go back to the ground, inside handoff.
Yeah,
that one goes to number 26, Gavel Valder.
Yeah, and there we're just lining up in an a balanced line where you've got equal amount of players on both sides doing a 2 tight end set. I think right now we've just decided, you know what, we're just going to line up the beef. We're just going to take it to them and either some quick dives. Maybe we'll see some options to the outside or something. But right now it's just, will this team impose their will and put some points on the board? We're still looking for our first points of the season, unfortunately, and we're already through 5 quarters of football.
Yeah, last week, the initial drive, I really thought we were going to get one early up in Millbank. Again, penalties just took that one away from us.
Yeah, and an untimely turnover last week, too, on that opening drive.
Svegan comes from under center, takes that one on the left side on his own. Valder went for about 5 on the opening play or first play. Second play,
We'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Svegan goes for about another 3 here, so it'll be 3rd and 2 for the Watchdogs at their own 37-yard line.
And as much as we'd like to, get a first down in 2 plays, it's running the ball. It's a grind in there right now. They've got the ability to stop us, but if you're going to be in a 3rd down, this is where we like to be. A 3rd and 2, this gives us some options.
Okay, Canton lined up nose tackle, 2 tackles in tight. Senon just couldn't find the opening. I think there was a little crease there, just kind of got caught up by the defenders.
Yeah, maybe a little indecisive there. We had one player kind of locked up on a guy, and sometimes you just have to take the few yards. Although it's so tempting to try pop it outside and get a big gainer, situations like that, you just got to kind of just take that 2-yard gain and move the chains. And right now, I think we might be a little bit desperate of thinking we need to get it all in one shot.
Back to punt for the Watchdogs, number 81, Levi Fitzgerald. Pretty good punt, fielded at the 32-yard line. Going to get a good return out of this, breaking 3 tackles now. That is number 14, Braxton Mulder, back deep for the Seahawks. He brings it out to their own 45-yard line before he's brought down by, I believe that was 82, Seth James for the Dogs.
Yeah, and so Cooper comes down. Looks like he's going to have a really nice, clean shot on the guy. The Braxton catches the ball, gives him a little shoulder shake, and kind of freezes Cooper. A little bit of a mismatch there. Athletically, Cooper's going to be more of a sledgehammer than he is someone that's going to break down and do open field tackles. But slowed him down enough, let the rest of the team get down. So, hey, just getting anybody down there in a guy's face is helpful. Don't want to let him get a clear clean catch and then a clear road to the sideline. So good job, Cooper.
Watchdogs just swapped out a defensive lineman for another linebacker here. Quick pitch to the right side. That is to number 7 for the Seahawks, Kanan McCracken. It's a gain of 5 on the play for the Seahawks, bring up 2nd and 5.
And just really well executed. If you look at the right side of the line of Canton on that play, they moved people out. They're pushing us around a little bit, and this is where we're going to have to once again start to slam some linebackers in between those gaps, at the snap of the ball to try to cause a little bit of disruption, because right now we're losing the battle on the line.
Watchdogs do make that substitution back again, so back into the game is another down lineman, number 52, Jace Adams, back in. Seahawks go right up the middle. They're met at the line of scrimmage. Coming up from that defensive back position and laying the hit is the Watchdogs ace, number 5, Jack Stennon, the senior at 185 pounds.
We'll bring up 3rd and about
Critical 3rd down here at midfield, Jeff. It's a short, 4 yards maybe if you look at it that way. 3rd and 4 into the win for the Seahawks.
Well, and right now it's this is a dangerous position for us because they've proven that they can run the ball. They've proven that they can pass it. So what do you do? Which part do you want to defend? To some degree here, you just want to if they're going to move the chains, let them move the chains. Just don't give up a big play. And this team right now has really got nothing to lose. They're playing with house money, so they can kind of run whatever they want.
Seahawks did just substitute out the big running back, number 7, McCracken. They do a quick screen out to the left side. He breaks a few tackles. Watkins going to hit him. Fitzgerald's going to get him as well and run him out of bounds, but not before they can go for a first down and take it out to the... They're going to place that thing at, I believe, about the 24-yard line.
And you can blame this. You could say it's poor tackling, but you got to hand it to the Canton team. I think that was Kane Wallner that caught that ball. He ran hard. He didn't give up. It wasn't like we made it real difficult on him, but on the same token, he didn't just go down at first contact. These kids are going for second effort. So when we're going to tackle, we're going to have to break down, wrap up, and let the rest of the Calgary kind of show up and help tackle with us. So a lot more wrapping up is what really is the remedy for this.
Seahawks, little bunch on the right side, tight formation, quarterback under center. It's a quick pitch out to the right side. Strung that thing out. That was Valder stretched it out, coming back the other direction, wide open. The Watchdogs sold out on it. That is all number 10, Teague Granum. He had the fumble that he returned for the touchdown early in the game. Granum was working the right side. He was strung out, almost tackled by Valder. He stops, pivots, works back to the left, and all of the defenders for the Watchdogs sold out, came to the near side, and Teague Granum, Jr., 6 foot, 170 pounds, worked back to the far side of the field, and takes it in for the touchdown run. That was a 24-yard gain.
And that's a byproduct of running the ball very successfully in the game. What happens? The defense has to over-pursue because they don't have enough trust in each other. They're going to be able to pin him along the sideline. So Waldner reaches out, tries to slow him down, and we have everybody stacked up in the wrong spot, and we really had the left side wide open for him. He jogged in.
Mulder under center. He fakes the handoff, rolls out left. That one is blocked by Seth James. Let's just talk on Seth James for a minute. Well, we've got the opportunity. He's listed on the roster at 6'5", 220 pounds. Great frame on him. Incredible wingspan. When you see him with his arms down at his sides and then he swings them out, and it showed on that play. Got a heart for the game. I mean, I think he really hopes to play at the next level, and he's pursuing all kinds of opportunities that might be out there for him. Just seeing where things take him his senior year. Again, 6'5", 220, Seth James, working that outside of that offensive defensive lines.
Well, he looks the part. I will say, fortunately and unfortunately, he's in a position here where the tight end is really more of a blocking role. He's got that kind of build where he can kind of showcase some of that. I'm not really sure what his hands are like. There's opportunity. But if he goes to the next level, I could definitely see him putting on another 40, 50 pounds and maybe going into something on a defensive line or maybe even something in positions where you're a little bit larger like that. But he definitely has the frame to put on a ton of weight and muscle. And so, I think ultimately he's got a physical nature about him, and I think he could go to the next level and contribute somewhere, in a college program.
All right, we'll kind of keep an eye out, see maybe what that role develops into for Seth James. I know last year as a junior, caught a couple big plays or passes. He was the one that they could send across the middle.
Yeah, and we just haven't really got to that point, and this is once again, we're down like this, we're going to have to throw, but we don't have really that drop back quarterback to just kind of execute that or even get through a couple reads. We just don't have that person. It's no fault of the personnel we have. We just haven't developed that over the last few years, or we just don't have the personnel to put in there and do that. So we're more of a running style. We've got some slashers and some runners, and the throwing is just not really our game this year.
Braxton Mulder has been the kicker for almost every kickoff. He puts it sideways on the tee, looking to squib it, make it difficult to pick up. The one time they did kick it deep and went through the back of the end zone, it was Dallas King that kicked that one. Mulder back out to kick this one. Squibbed it right up the middle. Again, it's difficult for the Watchdogs to pick up, but they did get in pretty good field position here. Back into a passing formation. That is Svegan.
No.
Ball is ripped out of his hands. Held on by a fingertips. That is number 70, Joe Sharp, just saved a touchdown. Svegan was back in a passing formation. Ran the ball. There was nothing there. Pocket started to collapse. He started to run. Grabbed by number 11, Kane Wallner. And Joseph Sharp, just by some miracle, had 3 fingers on the jersey. And again, Sharp, 6'7", 260 pounds, was laying on the ground, and Wallner was dragging him. Sharp eventually brings him down and saves the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to write a script of a bad start, we've obviously had that, and it's just kind of continued at this point. That was a play that looked as though it's going to be productive, and maybe something that we could do where we show pass and just start to run the ball. You get a little positive yardage, and then unfortunately we turn the ball over.
And Jeff, this is what teams do. You can almost guarantee it's coming.
Yep.
Right after a turnover, you go for the deep ball. And it's textbook high school football. We saw it last year. You get the turnover, you go for the big one.
Yep, and right now, like we said, they're playing with house money. You've got a nice, comfortable lead. You really have the option to go ahead, and even if you have to punt the ball away or just turn it over on downs, they're not feeling a lot of threat right now from Beersford. So, this is the opportunity for them to probably run some plays and try some things, and unfortunately, we just haven't been able to stop them. So, a sack right here would be great.
Okay, well, Seahawks, same formation, 4 right. They're going to run the little screen this time. Watchdogs did get Malachi James on the left side, singling up against Anderson. Seahawks go to the right side. They're going targeting Kane Wallner.
25-yard line.
Quick screen, gain of about 3 on the play to bring up 3rd and 7 for the Seahawks.
And that's a pretty conservative pass. It's kind of like a run where you're really not putting the ball in harm's way. It's an easy pitch and catch. Put it in the hands of your athlete, and we've seen Wallner has the ability to take it to the house on one of those. So I think right now they're just going to let their playmakers make plays on the outside.
3rd and 7 for the Seahawks, Watchdog territory, 25-yard line. Mulder does go under center, motion left. Reverse, it is reverse to the big guy, number 7, McCracken. So motion left, work it back to the right, brought down by number 11, Malachi James. Gain of about 5 on the play for the Seahawks to bring up 4th and 2. Now they just move the marker maybe a little further back. Maybe it's a short 3. Watchdog 22-yard line. We'll see what Coach Lundstrom and his staff dial up here on this big 4th down in Watchdog territory.
Yep, and having someone the size of McCracken out there, carrying the load, it eventually starts to wear you down a little bit too, and you're not as excited about hitting someone that size.
Under center, drops back, looking to the right side. That pass is completed to number 11, Kane Wallner. Going one-on-one against Svegan, and Svegan was there just trying to find a way to bring that down, but Wallner, again, 6'3", 225 pounds, and athletic.
Yeah, and those are just jump balls, and unfortunately we're losing the battle on that, and Wallner is he's showing that he wants the ball a little bit worse. He's got tremendous hands. He's shown that over and over again, and so sometimes you just get out physical there on one of those jump balls, and that's a prime example of the receiver just being a little more physical.
Seahawks 1st and goal from the 1 yard line. Do hand it off to Wallner. He is met at the line of scrimmage. That might have been Shirk. No, it was Robert Watkins.
Cooper.
And Cooper Nelson that kind of initially made the contact. Stopped his forward progress. Wallner tried to spin and gain a little more. Maybe he gained a half yard. Yeah, it looks like where they placed the ball. Gain of about a half a yard, so it'll be 2nd and goal from the half-yard line. 3:22 to go in this opening half. Seahawks lead 34-0. Those just tuning in, Jared Olson, Jeff Boom on the broadcast. We would like to recognize our crew here in just a second. We'll let the Seahawks take this second play down. And the call is touchdown. Quarterback sneak. So Mulder runs that one in for the half-yard touchdown. 3:05 to go on the clock here. Seahawks will be up 40-0.
Or 34.
4? Okay. Yeah, I thought it was 28. 34, excuse me.
34, yep.
I'm doing the math before it catches the board, but it was actually the board was updated. All right, Seahawks 34, Watchdogs 0, 3:05 to go in the first half before the half ends. Seahawks splitting it out here. 1 receiver right on the near side, 3 receivers left. Going to give it to the big guy, number 7, McCracken. Takes it in for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, right now they're just kind of having their way with the Watchdogs, and so I think it's a combination of 2 things. Canton looks very crisp, executing very well. They're capitalizing on every opportunity that we're giving them, and unfortunately, we're giving them so many opportunities. But you got to hand it to Canton. They are, and one thing this game so far has been extremely clean. We haven't seen the errors. The false starts, the delay of games, and all the holdings and the things that we saw last week. So both teams have cleaned that up. We just haven't been able to keep the ball in our hands, and we've been turning over to Canton, and Canton just continues to capitalize it time and time again.
Yeah, very true, Jeff. Again, if we're trying to pull a positive out, last week was pretty rough. Millbank and Beersford both, just tons of penalties. This game is flowing, way differently. A couple false starts, but I mean really a clean first half in that aspect. Watchdogs, again, going on memory here. I'm not keeping a stat board. I believe we've had 3 turnovers. Maybe it was a 4th.
Yeah, a couple fumbles, 2 interceptions, maybe 3 interceptions. So yeah, the total's starting to climb. So hopefully we can do a better job of just holding on to the ball here. And really what we need to do at this point is let's just see if we can put a couple first downs together. Give us something to start looking forward to.
Seahawks do bring out their 3rd kickoff kicker of the evening. This one was number 7, Kanan McCracken.
So really right now, as a coach, you look at the scoreboard, how are your kids going to react? This is a time where we can tuck tail, or we can stand up and say, you know what, it's time for us to get some yards, build some momentum. Either way, you got to play the game. So there's no time for us at this point to give up. And I got to say, last week on that drive, it felt like there was a little bit of, hey, you know what, I don't know if we're going to be able to score here. And it was, I don't want to say they gave up, but it just felt a little deflated knowing that you were in a hotly contested game. And hopefully tonight we don't see that same type of energy level. We just got to keep our chin up and just keep playing.
Jeff, I was correct on the scoreboard. It was 34-0 before that last score. We do have a new clock operator at home here tonight, so it would have taken it to 40, which is where I thought it was. And then now the 2-point conversion takes it to 42-0 with 2:49 to go here in the half. Watchdogs, nothing on that first down, brings up 2nd and 10 from their own 35-yard line. They're quick to the line. Seahawks are kind of looking to the sideline. They are not ready.
Yeah, we should be snapping the ball right here. Should have snapped it. And when you have them there, you got to take advantage of it.
And they are back in a prevent defense. I mean, they had 3 smaller down linemen. They've got, it's picked off again. That bounced off of 2 people before McCracken gathered it. He's still not down. Eventually brought down at the 23-yard line. That bounced off of 2 or 3 people before it just landed in McCracken's hands. 2:37 to go here in the first half. It'll be interesting what Coach Lundstrom decides to do. 1st and 10 from the Watchdog 21-yard line. You're up 42-0. We're not even to halftime. Again, is this another position where you do take that shot? We'll see what kind of personnel he brings in here and what he looks to do. Up 42-0 with 2:37 to go.
Well, I see some clean jerseys coming in, so I think that he's going to start moving smooth. Well, yeah, it still looks like there's some clean jerseys, some guys that haven't been in yet. So he might just start sprinkling in some of his underclassmen. You know, if you looked at last week, one of the biggest issues that we had was the snap. In this type of offense that we have, the ball's got to really come into the hands from the snap back to the running back's hands or quarterback's hands. We've really cleaned that up. Unfortunately, tonight, the ball hasn't been able to remain on our hands when we're throwing the ball. As soon as it hits the receiver's hands, for whatever reason, we're not able to reel it in. It bounces off the hands, ends up in the air, and we just haven't had the quick reaction to get our hands on the ball, and Canton has. And some of it's been gratuitous bounces that just end up bouncing up in the air, and they go right to them. And then some of it's just having an awareness. And right now, we look a little bit on the passing game like we're asleep at the wheel. You know, when those balls come out, you really got to make sure that ball doesn't get popped up in the air.
Jeff, you're right. Clean uniforms, guys, just a little bit smaller frame. This is the JV squad here. Under center for the Seahawks is number 15, Alex Reed. He's a sophomore, 5'10", 160 pounds. Just running the ball there is number 8, Jaden Fulkins. He's a freshman, 6 foot, 170 pounds. 2 plays, they've gained 9 yards or 9.5 yards. It's 3.5 yard for the Seahawks. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go before halftime.
Yeah, what can you say? I mean, you bring in some fresh legs, and they come in and they start taking it to them. So this is where we have to have a bit of a gut check if you're Watchdogs and say, hey, are we going to let these newer guys and these younger guys come in and still push us around? Now, I can see that Canton still has some of their starting linemen in there. They've got Corbin Winquist in there, who's big. 65 as well, Tyler Lease. So they've got some of the larger linemen out there still. So they're still able to get a push, and they're putting some guys in there that are hungry. You know, they're getting the ball. They'd love to get their name on the stat line with 6 points. So, of course, they're going to run extremely hard. So we have to, as a Watchdogs, you really at this point have to say, okay, we're going to have to stop this. Otherwise, where does this game end up?
Seahawks are in no hurry. 15, Alex Reed, is going all the way over to the sideline, talking to Coach Lundstrom, running the play back in. Clock is running and ticking down. Quarterback keeper, they did get that first down on the last play. It's 1st and goal from the 10-yard line for the Seahawks. Reed under center. Flag is thrown. It's a delay of game as the preliminary signal. Clock will stop. They'll back this one up. Seahawks will get...
Back them up 5 yards.
And, this is where it really shows out, too, when you start looking at the amount of players that Beersford has. And I don't want to use it as an excuse because I'm sure they wouldn't want that. But when you don't have the depth, this is what can happen. You end up where you get a large lead. They start to bring other players in. Those players are pretty talented just because you have such a big talent pool.
Seahawks go double wing there. Just handed off to the tailback. I believe that was number 43, Mason Bentz, the sophomore, 5'10", 170 pounds. Benz gets them back to they're back to about the 10-yard line, so he picks up 5 yards on that run. That'll be the end of the first half. Canton Seahawks 42, Beersford Watchdogs 0. Jeff, I don't know if there's a whole lot more we can say before we send it off to halftime. Seahawks are going to go to the south end here and sit in the grass. Watchdogs are going to head into the locker room, and the coaching staff for the Dogs is going to gather here near midfield and try to figure out what they're going to say to their squad to motivate them to come back out here in the second half. And you have to absolutely forget everything that happened in the first half and try to come back out and act like it's 0-0 and just try to show a little life as, you try to play this second half of football. And, again, you don't want to look ahead beyond, what we have to finish this game. But, at some point this thing's going to go and we're going to have to start thinking about winner. before too long here. But get another half of football to go. Jeff, we'll be back with the second half here on Watchdogs Live after this short commercial.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Even empty backfield, out of the gun, setting in the pocket, firing for the end zone. Williams, touchdown! What a throw and what a catch!
Whether you are pregnant or planning ahead, you and your baby deserve a healthy start. We offer a wide range of services such as advocacy, health screenings and education, care coordination and car seat safety, participant empowerment, referral services, and fatherhood support. To learn more about Great Plains Healthy Start, visit greatplainstravelhealth.org or call one of our 5 service areas today. Brought to you by Great Plains Healthy Start, so that the people may live.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
The foundation for how we do business is right in our initials, W-E. We. Everything we do is a partnership. We understand solving the many complex challenges growers face every day takes teamwork. And when we succeed, we do it together. That's the power of we.
Sheer Magnolia Salon and Beauty Bar offers you normal services but more. We offer haircuts for men, women, and children. Aaron and Kale are the 2 stylists. They don't have specific hours but will stay open late to accommodate families that are always on the go. Their services include full body waxing, mani-pedis, coloring, spray tanning, and more. They are your #1 choice for all things beauty. Located in Beersford, South Dakota. Call 605-763-2011 for your appointment. Sheer Magnolia
Classics Lounge in downtown Beersford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beersford.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
The Bridges at Beresford is the best 9-hole course in the area. You know that. The Bridges at Beresford is home to much more, including, starting next Thursday, the Thursday night special returns for the colder season. Food specials from 5 to 9. There's also the Friday happy hour for appetizers and money off adult beverages. Need room for a holiday party? There's plenty at Bridges of Beresford. Call today or find out the full details at beresfordbridges.com.
Are you stuck in a job that gives you no family life? Work for Sue Steele and enjoy a 4-day work week. Choose from first or second shift and receive a sign-on bonus. Sue Steele builds farm bins and livestock solutions. Sue Steele is hiring right now for machine operators and general laborers for both first and second shift. Sue Steele makes it easy to apply. Go to their ProTech division in Lenox for walk-in interviews Monday through Thursday from 1 till 5, or apply online at SueSteele.com. Join the Sue Steele team and work a flexible, family-friendly 4-day work week.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life, with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, you can be confident you're getting the best. You can buy in store or order what you need online for curbside pickup or delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace at participating stores.
Find Benjamin Moore paint and other great products at your locally owned Olson's Ace Hardware in Beresford.
Fiesta Foods in Beresford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store right in the hometown of Beresford.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs, there's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life, with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
Customer service is more than just a word. It's what Jensen Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance does every day.
We have more companies than most agencies in town. We're able to find a competitive market for each family. We're able to farm that out, quote it with each of our carriers, including auto owners insurance, of course, and see where it best fits.
In Sioux Falls, Beersford, and Elk Point, go to JensenAgencyOnline.com to find out more. Jensen Insurance Agency, building relationships since 1944.
Are you looking for a professional house painter in the surrounding area? Big or small, new or old? Albers Painting specializes in restoring the true beauty of your home or business. Albers Painting is your professional commercial painter in Lenox in southeastern South Dakota. They are locally owned and operated, focusing on providing quality painting and top-notch customer service. For your next project, contact Albers Painting for a free estimate for your home or business. Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Even empty backfield, out of the gun, setting in the pocket, firing for the end zone. Williams, touchdown! What a throw and what a catch!
Whether you are pregnant or planning ahead, you and your baby deserve a healthy start. We offer a wide range of services such as advocacy, health screenings and education, care coordination and car seat safety, participant empowerment, referral services, and fatherhood support. To learn more about Great Plains Healthy Start, visit greatplainstravelhealth.org or call one of our 5 service areas today. Brought to you by Great Plains Healthy Start, so that the people may live.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
The foundation for how we do business is right in our initials, W-E. We. Everything we do is a partnership. We understand solving the many complex challenges growers face every day takes teamwork. And when we succeed, we do it together. That's the power of we.
Sheer Magnolia Salon and Beauty Bar offers you normal services but more. We offer haircuts for men, women, and children. Aaron and Kale are the 2 stylists. They don't have specific hours but will stay open late to accommodate families that are always on the go. Their services include full body waxing, mani-pedis, coloring, spray tanning, and more. They are your #1 choice for all things beauty. Located in Beersford, South Dakota. Call 605-763-2011 for your appointment. Sheer Magnolia.
Classics Lounge in downtown Beersford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beersford.
the innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
The Bridges at Beresford is the best 9-hole course in the area. You know that. The Bridges at Beresford is home to much more, including, starting next Thursday, the Thursday night special returns for the colder season. Food specials from 5 to 9. There's also the Friday happy hour for appetizers and money off adult beverages. Need room for a holiday party? There's plenty at Bridges of Beresford. Call today or find out the full details at beresfordbridges.com.
Are you stuck in a job that gives you no family life? Work for Sue Steele and enjoy a 4-day work week. Choose from first or second shift and receive a sign-on bonus. Sue Steele builds farm bins and livestock solutions. Sue Steele is hiring right now for machine operators and general laborers for both first and second shift. Sue Steele makes it easy to apply. Go to their ProTech division in Lennox for walk-in interviews Monday through Thursday from 1 till 5, or apply online at SueSteele.com. Join the Sue Steele team and work a flexible, family-friendly 4-day work week.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life, with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
All
right, fans, welcome back to the second half here at Beresford High School, Cortland Karn Stadium. Clock is ticking down, 30 seconds left on the halftime here, but the squads are out there. Seahawks are lined up on the north end of the field. They are ready to receive this kickoff from the Watchdogs. Watchdogs had first possession of the game, so Seahawks obviously will elect to take the ball to start this second half. Back deep for the Seahawks. We haven't seen them back there yet. Let's get a quick look at the numbers. Number 6 and 86, so back deep for the Seahawks, number 6, that is Keyshawn Smith, a sophomore, and 86, Elijah Anderson, senior, listed at 5'10", 170 pounds. Kicking off for the Watchdogs this year is number 5, Jack Stinnen. 12 minutes put on the clock. Seahawks lead 42-0. Jeff, isn't a lot that we really want to recap on that first half, but What does the coaching staff have to say to the Watchdogs, and what are these first few minutes going to indicate?
Well, we know
left of this game?
We know one side of one locker room, or at least at the end of the football field when Canton met. We know how that conversation went. It's like everything kind of went our way. We're probably looking at bringing some younger guys in here at some point in the game, or at least you would assume that. Right now it looks like they've got some starters out there, maybe some younger guys. On the other side, what can you say? You don't kick a dog when it's down. No pun intended. But when you're down 42-0, you can't go in and start to scream and yell and say, "Hey, we're doing all these things wrong." You just got to give them some constructive criticism. Tell them to keep their chin up. Tell them to continue to play hard. And right now this is where you get a chance to maybe introduce some players that you don't play on a regular basis. And kind of get a look at what you got, in the future. And it's unfortunate that you have to be in this position at halftime, but the fact is, it happens sometimes.
In at quarterback is number 15, Alex Reed. He kind of finished off that first half. First play of scrimmage is a running play, and it did go to number 10, T. Granum. And again, Granum has put some yards under his legs, and they quickly started to grab the leg and put it up as if it's one of those cramps, and he's stretching a little bit here. I believe that's what it looks like we're doing here. Training staff does come out. They kind of do a quick stretch, and they bring in a couple of big offensive linemen, and they are going to take him off, but I believe it's just a cramping leg for the junior, number 10, T. Granum, as he goes off the field. But he runs that for 7 yards. Bring up 2nd and 3 for the Seahawks from their own 41-yard line.
And so it looks like we brought Beersford brought in a player we haven't seen yet, and it's number 22. I don't see anyone on the roster, so we've got to try maybe decipher who that is. Different set of shoes, so it wasn't probably not a case of a ripped jersey or something where we had to replace it. So we'll have to kind of do some research and figure out who that was exactly.
Seahawks kind of go off to the right side, gain of a couple on that play, bring up 3rd and 1 for the Seahawks. I believe running the ball was number 6, Keyshawn Smith, the sophomore, 6 foot, 175-pound running back.
Let's hear some noise over there, Dog Pound.
That's it. I think we just discovered. I think that's John DeLay. Yep. It's a junior and just joined the team here in the last week or so. So I think they're going to put him in there and let's see what he does.
Seahawks are not going to convert on that play. I see coming out of that Adams and Stennon on the stop.
And what a great opportunity here. Let's get a stop on 4th down. Kind of interesting that they're not just going to punt the ball away here, but looks like they're going to go for it. So this would be a great time to have a stand, get the ball on your side of the field, and maybe start to go to work here on offense.
Seahawks 4th and 2 from their own 42.5-yard line, 43-yard line. Dogs packing it in tight. They're sending linebackers. Seahawks go off tackle, and they do get the first down. Running that ball is number 43. Mason Bentz, the sophomore, needed a long 2. He picked up about 4 on the play. It'll be 1st and 10, Seahawks from their own 46-yard line.
Yep, the Canton offensive line is still, the moving company there is still doing their job. I think they could plug in some newer players and still get the job done. Looks like they've I don't know if that right guard, number 60, is new. I guess Landon Hartman. Oh, he's a senior. Maybe he was earlier, but they're certainly getting the job done. And right there, he just got to the second level, made a nice block on a linebacker. So you just got to hand it to Canton. The execution is really good tonight, and we just have not had an answer.
Carried by Cam Anderson for no gain.
Pick up 2nd and 9 here. Quarterback Alex Reed keeps working to the far side. He's still over there talking to Coach Lundstrom. Jeff, is kind of interesting. You and I were visiting. You had a little fun bit about Coach Lundstrom, and why don't you just kind of share that past history you had with him?
Yeah, we go back to 1987, my senior year, and Rich was actually right across the line from me most of the game, and so it's not a surprise to me to see them being a physical, punishing type of offense because that's kind of the player he was. He liked to scrap. He was a grinder and a physical player as well. So I think his mentality is just carried over right into his coaching mentality here for the last 21 years. And all you got to do is just look at the titles and how they get those titles. They run the ball down your throat. And tonight they got a chance to do a little bit of both to Beersford, but you got to hand it to him. He's got a great philosophy, and his coach had said, Ebert, in this interview, he doesn't vary from it very often. Tonight they had some success throwing the ball, but he really likes to pound the rock, and tonight's been no different.
Seahawks there had a lead back going up the hole, running back number 6, Keyshawn Smith. Saw us plugged up. He kind of bounced out to the right side, but he was met by some pursuit on the near side here. Bring up 4th and long here for the Seahawks. We're going to call this, let's call it a 7.
And this is where Beersford's really got to step up. I mean, how many opportunities that you can have in a game, and this is a really good one right here for us to get a stop, get the ball back. So let's just see if we can rise to the occasion here.
Yeah, 4th and 7 near midfield. Seahawks have the wind in their face. They're going to quick pitch it out to the right. They've got a pulling guard there. Smith is run out of bounds short of that first down marker, so they will flip the ball onto Watchdog territory, but it will be a turnover on down. So Watchdogs will take over 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line. Let's see what the Dogs put together here offensively.
And so it looks like Carson Ross entered the game. Yeah, he's still out there. So they've got a player now. He's tipping the scale at 300. So just like last week, you've got a guy that's very large, hard to move, but also might be one that's not super quick to get sideline to sideline. So you can't spend a ton of time trying to block somebody that's, one, really, really hard to move. And if you don't need to move them, just go right by them, get a block downfield, and just outrun him to the sideline. So, big players like that are super beneficial to stop you from running the ball up the middle because it's hard to move them. But it also allows you to run to the outside because they're just not going to have that speed to keep up with the running back.
That direct snap did go to Watkins, gain of, we'll call it 4. He is met and tied up by the ankles by number 86, Elijah Anderson, the senior. Watchdogs again going to flip formations here. Canton just flops their defense to adjust to it. Direct snap to Stennon. He's got a little room up the middle. Seahawk defender, I believe that was number 60 potentially, Landon Hartman.
And giving the Beersford fans here a little something to cheer about, which we didn't have a whole lot the first half, and so getting moving the chains here is a nice addition for the night, which we just haven't seen.
Okay, we have Cooper Nelson is kind of in an up formation. He's kind of the lead blocker up through that hole.
And why not? I mean, right now we're in a position, obviously we want to get first points on the scoreboard for the whole season. We've got six quarters that we haven't been able to put up points. And right now, you know what? You're in a position, you don't know if you're going to be able to come back. It looks unlikely, that we're going to be able to come back at this point. So let's run some things, try some things out, see what works, and just keep experimenting here a little bit.
Yeah, Cooper again in that up position. Did pull a guard around the left side. It just wasn't enough to take care of that pursuit from the defensive line on the Canton Seahawks side. Loss of a few on the play. Bring up third and long 9, a short 10 here for the Watchdogs. Wind at their back. Be interesting if they put Svegan under center or put Svegan directly in the gun or what we decide here on this third and we'll call it 10 because that's basically what it is. Stennon with the call, breaks the huddle. It is Stennon and Watkins in the backfield. Stennon takes the snap, working off the right side. He's got lead blockers. That's Watkins out front. Stennon bumps it outside. First down and a few more before he's wrapped up on the far side of the field, but that's a gain of 15 for Stennon. He had a lead blockers out there, Watkins, Shirk, and a few others pulling around the corner. I see Cooper Nelson still jogging back from way downfield.
And that's going to be a key going from tonight and then obviously through the rest of the season is can you make the blocks at the point of where we're running the ball. But then the next step is, can you make blocks downfield? That's where you start to spring the big runs. And right now they're just putting Cooper Nelson up there behind center and just letting him just go ahead and lead block. So he just comes in like a sledgehammer. Bigger guy, does have some athleticism, so he's able to get out there. And it's kind of like having a pulling lineman, just versus having him on the line. Just have him in the backfield. Let him get a nice clear vision of what's out in front of him. And then you just tell him, go out and find a white jersey and run into it.
Yeah, he just starts kind of that 2-point stance, kind of hands on the knees. That last play was Watkins working off the left side. He was met by number 43, Mason Bentz, the sophomore. Second and 7 here for the Dogs. That one goes back to Watkins. Puts his head down and kind of blows through and takes a couple of Seahawk defenders with him. Good sportsmanship there as they help him up. Again, that was number 43, Benson again. Bentz. 43, Mason Bentz on the tackle. Watkins takes it out to, we're going to short 2 left here, so we'll call it third and short 2 from the Canton 15. Stennon, Watkins leading up the hole. Stennon will get the first down, take it out to about the 10-yard line. Watchdogs should be sitting first and goal from the 9 or 10-yard line. 1:27 to go here in this third quarter. Again, Watchdogs delayed. Finally got Canton to turn the ball over on downs. Now we're going to run. Chewing up clock, not giving up points. Opportunity here to punch one in with 1:11 to go in the third quarter.
It'd be really nice to see a score here before the end of the quarter. You really don't want to go seven quarters without a score. So let's get one punched in here. It looks like it's going to happen right there.
Yeah, that was Robert Watkins. Somebody caught him out about the 5-yard line. Caught his ankle around the 5-yard line. And we got some great footage. We're experimenting. And, oh, no, we did have it up. All right, fans, something new for Watchdogs.live. Good opportunity to recognize what's going on there. A lot of work went in. There's high fives right behind us, Jeff. So let's recognize the crew here and kind of what's been going on. We will see kind of what happens here. Robert Watkins with the scored touchdown. After this, we will talk about kind of what's going on new for the Watchdogs there. This is number 13. The extra point attempt is up and
Peyton
good.
Hoffman.
That's Peyton Hoffman. He's a sophomore. I saw him kicking last week. He was warming up on the far side at Millbank. He looks super smooth, and the ball pops off his foot. So, fans, what you saw, we weren't really paying attention to the production team over here. So, in the offseason here, we took a trip to Dort. Their multimedia people helped us out and kind of said, here's some capabilities and some possibilities. Your son Easton was part of the production and camera crew, came on and did some of this. One of our guys that's been with us from the very beginning, game one that we did on Watchdogs.live, is Gavin Stewart. He's been a real trooper with us. And he's down on the sideline right now with a special camera that's kind of got a self-balancing technology to it. And he's just kind of holding that out in front of himself. And then through wireless transmitters, they're sending that data back up here to the booth. And we're able to, or the producer, in this case it's Renee James, kind of doing the production side of it, she can toggle between camera angles. And the cameras we have up here in the booth are hardwired with HDMI cords. This is a camera that we were able to purchase using some Perkins funds. It's going to be part of our curriculum that's taught in Mr. Storo's class. Huge shout out to Matt Storo. He's our fall AD. He's doing a number of things for us. Also within his classroom. There's sometimes that probably Mrs. James, our technology coordinator, is kind of like, no, nothing new. And Matt's kind of been pushing, we've got to get this, we've got to do it. And fans, the view that you're seeing now is Gavin Stewart on the sideline. And dang it, we just lost it. Again, a little live and learn and play here, but a new camera. It is totally wireless. It's transmitting a signal up. That's Gavin Stewart on the sideline, getting a great angle of that touchdown by Robert Watkins. We're going to see more of those camera angles. Again, part of the money came, if anybody's heard of the Frostbite 4, South Dakota's premier winter road race. The Frostbite 4 is an annual race run Super Bowl Saturday every year. That group committed a few dollars as well to help us improve cameras, some technology. We needed an additional transmitter and some of that stuff to just really take this to another level. And again, it's an opportunity for more kids to get involved. We're going to put some new cameras in the gymnasium. We're going to have kids with cameras roaming the floor. Going to be kind of cool, I think, when we start having timeouts or free throws. And again, the person doing the production, we'll have students start learning that. They'll be able to pop back and forth with different camera views and hopefully, again, enhance that fan experience for those of you watching remotely on Watchdogs.live. So, Jeff, that's our shout-out to kind of what's new. Renee James, Matt Storo, Gavin Stewart, and a number of others are going to help us get the fans some great views.
And I have to say, it's a testament to Beersford, the community, all the types of money that comes in to support these things. But it's last week on Friday, Beersford hosts cross-country kickoff, 600 and some runners here. And interestingly enough, I watch Easton come out. He's wearing his jersey. If it's Friday, they're going to go up to Millbank. And I said, what are you doing out here? He says, I fly the drone. I had no idea that Easton flew a drone. But on the same token, it's very cool that we've been able to introduce the high school kids into these types of technologies and things. And it kind of sets them up for potentially another career and those types of opportunities that will be there for them. And, flying a drone, I certainly can't do it. I'm sure for kids it's maybe like a video game. For me, I'd probably crash and burn it. But the fact that he's done that gives him a opportunity potentially in college or something to go into some sort of aviation or take pictures. So just a great way to introduce kids to all these different productions and those types of things. So
Jeff, a couple others that I left off there. A great point. I'm going to come back to the drone. Another good funding source for kind of what our vision and mission here is with Watchdogs Live is the Beersford Booster Club. You're a part of that organization. A number of our sponsors that you're seeing on the production tonight are some of our key players that help us from a corporate level to support the Beersford Booster Club. They've been a big part of helping us advance and push some of this technology and things that we're doing on the broadcast. The drones was another one that Matt Storrow really just said, we've got to have this. He'd love to fly one over top of the field. Maybe it's for a coin toss or an opening kickoff or something. Not quite going to do that on the football field just yet, but great opportunity for the cross-country race. Again, the kickoff to the 23 season. We were just shy of 700 runners. It's a great event every year here at the Bridges of Beersford. And those are things that I think we will see evolve. I got to fly the drone one day in the gymnasium. Mr. Storrow did give me a little freedom. He has a way to set some parameters and boundaries on it, so he said, don't worry, it's unlikely you're going to run it into the wall. But I was able to pick it up off the floor and zoom it back and forth, and it is pretty cool technology. As it did get close to the wall, it did kind of slow down on its own and start to kind of bounce and knew through the technology that, hey, you're getting close to the wall, and it did stop itself. So,
well, that's good. If I was flying it, I think I'd perhaps everybody in the room would probably need their helmet on, and I'd probably have to take out some sort of an insurance policy. I don't know if I could keep it up in the air, but.
All right, fans, back in the action here. Seahawks ball. They are in their own territory deep. They are on their own 10-yard line. 4th and 10 from their own 10-yard line. I see two guys coming on. I think they're a little miscommunication. Coaches Lundstrom is looking back to the sideline. Now I see a few more guys jogging off. Now a whole herd of guys.
Probably the first punt we're going to see.
Yeah, we're going to see a timeout here. Coach Lundstrom, it just took a little too long for players to sub off and on. Did the right thing here. You're up 42-7. 9:49 to go here in the fourth quarter, and you're deep in your own territory. Look like they're going to bring out some of those varsity punt squad, and they just took a quick timeout to make sure they were ready.
So what a great thing we would see here if we can get a punt return, maybe take one to the house, really get the crowd excited again. This is one of those games. Luckily, the Watchdog Loyal, it seems like there's still a lot of fans that have stuck around. Unlike when you go to the NFL games and those types of things, they will the stands may be packed, but once a team is down, they'll exit. But fans are sticking around. They want to see Beersford score some points here. So this is a good opportunity to get a special teams. And Waldner's had some good success last year and this year. He's a good return guy. He's got some good speed. He's a little shifty. He's probably not a guy that's going to run you over a whole lot, but he's certainly a guy that can make you miss and he can make you pay. So,
high snap. Punter does get a hold of it. Punt does bounce and really goes about another 15, almost 20 yards here. Watchdogs, no return. Fans, the camera angle again that you're seeing is that roaming camera with Gavin Stewart. He is on the far side of the field now, so he's over on the Canton bench or the Canton sideline, bringing you that view. We're going to get a quick placement of the ball here on the Watchdog 41-yard line. 1st and 10 Watchdogs from their own 41. Gives you a pretty good view kind of back to the west of the Cortland Carnes Stadium. Watchdogs huddled up on the 33, going to bring it out to the 41 here. 1st and 10.
And we had a nice addition to the stadium just added this week. We've got the Booster Club Unleash the Pride logo that was just put on the box, the booth, and so just one nice touch. And this stadium, this has been around for a long time. If you look at it from the age, if you did an NFL stadium like that, this would be torn down and something bigger and badder would be up. But if you go around the state, this particular bleacher section, made of concrete, with the aluminum benches. It has really stood up well over the last 40, 50 years, whatever it might be. Probably close to 50 years. And so because of that, it's nice that we can still have nice bleachers and then just make some improvements on it and give it a little bit of a facelift.
Yeah, Jeff, it's going to be pre-your time, but just a block over by the Bridges of Beersford is the city baseball field. And they used to play the high school football games across the outfield through part of the infield, I'm assuming, as well. But the football field used to sit over there when Cortland Carnes Stadium was built. This was kind of all slough area out here to the south of that. And it is what we know as our main complex and where the school is built on the far south side of town. Svegan rolls out, reverse rolls out, pitches it to Stenin. Stenin is going to go for 10-plus yards and pick up a first down before he's run out of bounds in the Canton Seahawk 40-yard line.
Yeah, we're talking about the football field being over on the old baseball field. I do remember those days of, obviously kids are rambunctious. A little different for the environment when kids go to football games. They encourage them to stay in the stands and try to remove some liabilities. But back in the 70s, those rules weren't really there. So there was a lot of two-hand touch, maybe some tackle that was going on. But I do remember those days, and Beersford, at that time, had some tremendous football teams, had won a mythical state championship, and it's a little bit of a glory period at that time.
All right, a lot of wheels working around that left side over there, Jeff. You see the speed of Gavelvalder out in open space.
A little bit earlier when he was back there for the punt return, he does have some speed. Like I said, he's probably not a guy that's a real power guy. Not saying that he couldn't run you over, but he'll probably choose to try and make you miss or outrun you just because he has that ability. So why take the punishment when you can just get around somebody? So maybe we can start to showcase some of that tonight.
Watchdogs 1st and 10 from the Seahawk 20-yard line. Svegan under center. Gives it to Watkins. Nobody sees him. He is going to be drugged. Knee was down. His knee was down short of the goal line. Watkins was working hard and reaching for that one, but he was brought down just shy of the goal line. So it'll be 1st and goal, Watchdogs, from about the, how are we at here? About the 1.5, somewhere in there.
Yeah, Robert, he's one of those, tough, hard-nosed kids. He's a wrestler. He's kind of got that muscular build to him, and so when you see him run the ball and he runs hard, nothing surprises me just by his physical play, and just a tremendous tackler as well.
Watchdogs double wing, Watkins behind the quarterback. Svegan takes a snap and leans forward. Far side is marking him as down short of the goal line. So bring up 2nd and goal, Watchdogs near the goal line. Coach Ronaldo stepping out, trying to yell the play to Svegan. Svegan back to the huddle.
So let's see if we just kind of stick to the status quo here and just try to pound it in, or if we're going to try some sort of a wrinkle. My guess is we're just going to keep handing the ball off and just kind of keep pounding it in.
Svegan under center. Kind of an option right there. That was the wing back that kind of cut back in.
Yeah, hopefully you had a good view of that. It looks like we did. That's one of those plays. It's not a big wrinkle, a little bit of a different look for the fact that you've got your guy on the outside that comes back in, you hand off. Not something you see a whole lot of. So I think that caught Canton a little bit off guard. You would think that ball would go to the outside, and then it's kind of a quick hit, and Waldner went in pretty much untouched.
Okay, that after point attempt is up and good. Canton leads 42-14. Jared Olson, Jeff Boom, Watchdogs.live, 5:17 to go here in the 4th quarter.
It's really nice to see. We scored a couple touchdowns. We got to get Payton on the field and kick the ball. This is probably a star that we have. He is a good receiver. A little slighter build, younger guy right now, so you're not seeing him on the field a whole lot, but you go to the JV games and you watch him, he's got really nice set of hands. He can get a little shifty after the catch. I think that he'll be some promise for us going in the future. And then just having someone that we know we can rely on as a kicker.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising up.
And we have a player here that looks like he can continue to build on what he has right now. When we were out here a few weeks ago watching him on the scrimmage, he had a couple line drive kicks, one hit the crossbar, little nerves coming out. Fortunately, he's a good friend of Easton, and so had a chance to talk to him. I was a former kicker as well, and I just told him, I said, hey, sometimes you're going to miss left or right, but if you just put your foot into it, it's okay if you miss, but just make good contact. And tonight so far on these 2 extra points, he's put his foot into it. That one into the wind still was a pretty good kick.
Watchdogs with kind of a little, I don't want to say it was necessarily an onside-er, but they were certainly looking to try to pick a cheap one up there.
Yep. And, why not? At this point, let's just see if we can get the ball back in there. Right now, it looks like, I'm not going to say we could score at will, but it's a little easier road to hoe than it was the first half for sure. And so if you can come back and at least make the scoreboard look, a little more presentable, why not go for it? And so right now, let's just see if we can get it another 3 and out. That would be nice. Get punt and get the ball back in our hands and start another drive.
Yeah, score differential is enough, and we are in running clock time now, so things are really ticking along. So we're 4:37 to go here in the fourth quarter. Watchdogs, that's Malachi James stretching it out. That's going to be a loss of 5.
And that's nice run support. A couple times tonight, seen Malachi come up and not afraid to put his nose in where, sometimes you might say it doesn't belong when you come in as a cornerback. But as a cornerback, you've got it's probably one of the most challenging positions you're going to have on the football field. But besides cornerbacks, you're on an island sometimes, covering somebody that he knows where he's going and you don't, and then trying not to do a pass interference call at the same time, and there's just a lot going on for a cornerback, and then you're still expected to come up and put a hat on somebody and run support. So nice job there by Malachi.
Seahawks fake the handoff left. Quarterback continues to roll out to the right side. Pass is incomplete. Coverage out there was Zach Cooper Nelson out there in coverage, there, and who else is the other one out there? 22. We said that's delay.
Yep. And so now we've got Canton, where we wish we would have them all first half, 3rd and long. Coach Lundstrom had said in the pregame that passing's not really where they want to be, and Coach Ebert said if we've got them throwing the ball, it tells you that we're doing something right. So this is a down and distance where we really like to be, and every defense does. It allows you to do so much more. You can really come after the quarterback if you choose to, or you can drop back and try to just play the pass. Right now, we've got a little bit more of a swarming defense, and it doesn't look like there's a whole lot that Canton's having success with right now.
Yeah, Canton in T formation there. Worked something off to the right side. Cooper Nelson was out there along with, I didn't see the other jersey, but it was for sure Cooper chasing. Bring up 4th and a lot for the Seahawks. We're at least 15, so it's 4th and 15. Wind at their back, 2:30 on the clock. Again, things are just running and ticking along here.
Once again, if we can get a clean catch on this ball, we do have some younger, inexperienced players that will be coming down the field, and so it just might open up an opportunity for Gavel to hit a seam and take one to the house. I'd really love to see that here, to put a little bit of a feather in our hat tonight.
Well, huge punt from the birthday guy.
Wow.
Matt Anderson, he punted that thing from their own about, 20, 25 yard lines where he was standing. And that thing came to rest at the north, almost near the goal line. That's going to be about where are they set up here? They're going to set that about the 2 or 3 yard line in Watchdog territory.
Yeah, that's about a 65-yard net. And it's a tremendous punt. Obviously, I'd wind aided, but when you get that kind of a bounce and a roll, and Spagan made a good decision not to go back and try to pick that ball up. As much as you don't want to have your back against the wall, no reason to go back there knowing you've got 3 or 4 players just screaming down the field to get to that ball. You don't want to make a silly mistake. So let's just let the ball roll dead and live to put the offense on the field and run some plays.
Yeah, massive punt there from Anderson. Watchdogs will be deep in their own territory.
Oh,
that
boy, we got a
Watkins. He
foot
breaks
race.
loose. I don't know that they're going to catch him. Robert Watkins from the 2-yard line. He's drugged down about the 9-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle and chase by number 51. We got to get to the program here. 51. John Halverson, I believe, is who that is. We'll get a little light on our program. Watkins breaks through the initial line. Nobody there to get him. That was 51. John Halverson, the senior, 5'10", 190 pounds, chases Watkins down. Watchdogs are in territory here to score. 46 seconds, running clock. Svegan is under center. Gives it to Valder.
Oh, nice spin.
Breaks a tackle, little spin move. Now he's going to run over. Did they blow that dead? No, he was down. Excuse me. That was a blocker that I saw go busting through there.
Yep, Seth James. There's when you could see that Beardford's got a little more pep in their step. Seth James finishing a pretty big block there in the end zone, not giving up. And I have to say, when Watkins ran that ball, what a testament to Canton football and the coaching staff. You've got a senior out there. He could have easily let Watkins score a touchdown. Instead, kept his foot on the gas and said, nope, not on my watch. But looks like we're going to find the pay dirt here right now anyway. Well,
just short. Clock runs out. Watchdogs, again, wouldn't have changed the outcome, Jeff. Wanted to put one more up and get it 20 or 22, 21 to 42. But the final here in Beersford, 11A matchup, Canton Seahawks come out victorious, 42-14 over the Beersford Watchdogs.
Yep, it's obviously not the outcome you want. Sometimes when the turnovers just kind of pile up, you just kind of have to just go with the flow. This is one you probably don't want to focus a ton on. Look at where you've had some success here in the second half. Obviously, you're playing a little bit of inexperienced defense when they're putting some other players in, but it's still something to build on. And I think we learned a lot in the passing game tonight too. Those turnovers that we had from time to time in the passing game, the fumbles, those are going to happen, but we can clean up some things in the passing game and hopefully start to build off of that.
So now we take the point to look forward. Game is over, sit on it overnight, but then we start to look forward. Canton Seahawks out to a 2-0 start to their season. They do have the infamous Black and Blue Bowl next week. That will be played in Canton at Copland Field. So they're going to start preparing for Lennox, a new head coach. Coach Lundstrom referenced a new offense for the Orioles and what that'll mean. So that's what the Seahawks have got ahead of them is 2-0 on the season. They're going to be at home, Black and Blue Bowl, huge rivalry with the Lennox Orioles. Watchdogs are going to have another home game next week, September 8th. That will be a 7 o'clock kickoff. They will be visited by the Winter Warriors. Winter played Tri-Valley in week 1, went to overtime, and Tri-Valley had an opportunity to kick a field goal in overtime and almost knocked off Winter in a real upset. Went into overtime or a couple overtimes. Winter does pull that one out, so they picked up that victory. But historically, Winter's a great program. I mean, we kind of know what we're going to get next week with the Winter Warriors coming to town.
Well, and for decades they've been good. It's just like one of those things that they don't really rebuild, they kind of reload. And so, it's going to be a challenge. If we look back, and yes, we got moved into 11A. If you look at last year, the way that things kind of played out in the playoffs, Winter and Elk Point meeting down there in the Dome, I was at that game. What an incredible football game that was. Lots of heart. Winter had won it the year before. Now they come in and face a really hungry Elk Point team, and Elk Point was able to get it done. But regardless of who they've lost, it doesn't really matter. Winter's going to come in here. They're going to be hungry. We right now have to really look ourselves in the mirror and make a decision on whether we can impose our will on somebody, because tonight we just weren't able to. And so this will be another challenge. This will be another opportunity for them. But I think that we really have to just look ourselves in the mirror and say, can we go out there and just absolutely run the ball down Winter's throat? Because that's going to be the recipe for us to win the rest of the year.
Jeff, before we sign off, I just want to hit maybe quickly on culture. If you look last week up in Millbank, the number of those seniors who graduated last year, I was surprised in the stands to see all of those kids that made that trek to Millbank. And, you look down on the track, what do you see now?
Yeah, you've seen them here when we stepped out at halftime, seeing all these guys back. It's exciting. We've got a few guys in there that their team's playing tomorrow. We've got some guys that are redshirted this year in college, and some of them, maybe they didn't make the traveling squad. So a few of those guys down there, they're padding it up on a weekly basis right now. But they're excited about football. They've had last couple years were real exciting for them. And it's a cool way to come back and kind of show some homage to the program. So it's really fun to see these guys back, and looks like they're all having a good time tonight, even though the scoreboard didn't turn out the way we wanted it to.
Yeah, no, that group of class of 23, again, to see so many of them in Millbank, to see so many of them here tonight, and again, they're going to wait for coaching staff to talk to the team, but they're going to go out there and say, hey, we got your back still, and pretty cool of them to be here.
Yep, a lot of good leadership there that we lost this year, and so this is the time where somebody else has got to step up and kind of rein it in. We got to find a way to get some points on the board the first half of each game now.
All right, coaching staff and the players have got their hands full now. We're 0-2. I'm going to host a winner next Friday. Fans, where to come out here. Probably going to find a great opportunity to catch a great game. If you're not able to make it, you can always tune in on Watchdogs Out Live again. Hey, Jeff, first broadcast. I really appreciate the time that you've made for us. Great job. And I know the fans are going to enjoy this as well. So next week, Jared Olson, Jeff Boone back on Watchdogs Out Live. For now, we're signing off.